So, ASTDX is officially released, and I have had my fair share amount of time to play the game. Is this going to be a full-fledged review? Not really. Like I said, the game's been out for, I don't know, maybe an hour at most at the time that I'm recording this video. So it's not like anyone, even the early access players, had that long to play the game or formulate opinions on it. So this is mostly going to serve as a first impressions type video. And before we started off, for anyone like DMing me or messaging me if I'm alive or if I like fell off a building or something, I'm fine. You know, still alive and well, just haven't felt like making videos. And a new anime tower defense game came out that has over 200,000 players. So what better opportunity to content farm than now? Here's the thing. ASTDX, my first impressions, I want to make it very clear that this is an opinion. This is my opinion. This is just how I feel personally. My opinion is subject to change, but this is how I'm feeling right now. Do I think it's gonna change drastically as I keep playing the game? Probably not. But there's always a chance, right? There's always hope. I'll start it off with the good, because I really want to like this game. I do. I've been pretty hyped for it since I saw the trailer way back when, and I wasn't really a hardcore ASTD player back in the day. I played it a little bit back in 2021, got bored, hopped off, never touched it again. But I do have the little cool skins that they give you if you were a player back then, which is nice. I like the little free skins that they gave you. But I'll start off with the good. I wrote down some notes about what I really liked about the game. My favorite part, right? I'll say it right now. The game is extremely content heavy, which I hope so after how long we've had to wait for this game to come out. It did not disappoint in terms of things to do. The raw, sheer amount of things that you have to grind for in this game as a new beginning player is a lot. It's very numerous in the amount of things that there are to do. If you are an anime tower defense player and you enjoy playing these types of games, then rest assured, my friend, your hunger will be satiated because you're going to be grinding this game for a while. There's all the new units to evolve. There's the new skill tree that lets you spec into different specific skill trees that have different ability nodes according to the game, but I don't even know what that means because I haven't tried it. I haven't seen any videos of anyone try it. I don't think anyone's tried it, but it looks pretty lengthy, it looks pretty complicated, and it looks very grindy. There's the little special stages that you can do if you go around the map and talk to different NPCs. They let you go into a special stage where you fight a boss, and you start off with a lot of money, and it's pretty crazy. And that's also another thing that I really like that I'm going to get into later. There's just so many things to do, and even me describing them over the video right now isn't doing it justice. There's just so many things to do in this game that you'll be hard pressed to run out of things to do, at least for the release of the game, which is honestly a very good thing. A lot of anime tower defense games release, and the biggest critique that a lot of people have with them, besides the glaring issues, will be that there's not that many things to do and the game feels dry. And people will always just accredit this to the game just coming out, so we need to be patient. There's really no need to be patient with this. Most of the content that they would have added is probably here now. I mean, obviously they're going to add more updates, but you get what I'm trying to say. There's so many things to grind for. I'm sure that's going to make some people happy. Let me keep reading from my notes here. The game's quality of life features are very good. They have auto upgrade. They have keybinds. They have unit manager. The customization for your profile is some of the best that I've ever seen. It's very good. And like I said, go figure. This game's been in the works for so long that these guys have had time to look at what works in other anime tower defense games and implement it into theirs, and I'm happy that they did. A better end product for us means a better game in general, so I'm not really going to complain about that. Now, I will say, the UI kind of reminds me of Anime Reborn, and that worries me, but we'll get into that later. Right now, we're still on the good. Quality of life, 10 out of 10. Your customization on your profile, some of the best that I've seen. I really like how the titles have their own little specific badges. That's also really cool. Like I said, the NPC missions are also a nice touch that I haven't seen in that many other anime tower defense games, if any at all, where you can walk around the map and you see that there's these little special units that are just chilling. You can interact with them. You go through these dialogue options, but the game is nice enough to tell you which specific set of dialogue options you need in order to get the secret mission or the little secret stage that you can go do. And it's fun. It's action-packed. It's short and sweet. It forces you to have some sort of strategy because, trust me, I tried going in there blind and it didn't go well. It's cool. I really like that addition. And there's also trading in the game, and there's PvP in the game. So, like, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot. But I don't know what I'm going to title this video. At the time that I'm recording this, doing this voiceover live, I don't know if I want to title it something positive, something neutral, or something negative. Because this game worries me. It definitely does. And, you know, when I first started playing the game, my first like 15 minutes, I was kind of pissed off. I was not happy with the game. I was like, oh, fuck, we waited how many years for something that looks like Anime Reborn? I was being way too harsh. I'm looking back on the game now. I've played it a little more. I've gotten a few units. Obviously, I haven't even beat the game. I'm still on the very last story stage, but I'm pretty close to beating the game. I don't think the game is bad at all. In fact, I think this is basically ASTD 2. This is a real true and through successor to ASTD with all of the charm that the old ASTD had. Correct me if I'm wrong, OG ASTD players. This pretty much feels like ASTD 2. If ASTD was to drop again in present day today, this is basically exactly what I envisioned it to be, so I imagine that it completes what it sets out to do. But the reason that this game worries me is because it feels like a cash grab that's gonna die quick. It feels like a quick buck that isn't gonna be here for the long run. Now, why do I say that, right? Am I just hating on the game? Am I being needlessly pessimistic? What is my reasoning behind that claim? Well, it all starts with me personally. Two things. Number one, I just don't like the UI sometimes. I know that's a personal nitpick, but like I said, the UI really reminds me of Anime Reborn, and Anime Reborn's not looking too hot right now, so it kind of just gives me PTSD. Number two, the game is definitely a little shameless with its microtransactions. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a picture on the screen. It's game passes like these that make me a little worried, right? Ooh, limited time item. Only this many left. Buy it before it's too late. Like, what a fucking joke, dude. Like, these game passes seem so needlessly overpriced, and they're so blatantly there for the sake of monetization that it just puts a bad taste in my mouth. Besides that, the game is already extremely monetized. It's an anime tower defense game. You can buy gems, you can buy trade rerolls, you can buy a bunch of other stuff, like the premium capsules that you can then use to get skins. That's more so gambling. There's also an entire little thing where you can gamble 50 gems at a time, and it'll play this little, like, casino game for you, which, you know, that's also, I'm fine with that, you know, at least you can play with that for free. So I'm not going to complain about that. It just adds a little extra mini game to play. But the reason that this game worries me is because it feels like it has all these elements from other anime tower defense games that didn't do well, and I worry that it's going to suffer the same fate. We have auto upgrade, we have the 3x speed. I'm not saying 3x speed is going to kill the game. In fact, I think it's pretty good, because even with 3x speed, I would find myself doing like 4 or 5 minute stages, so god, I can only imagine what people playing on 2x speed are feeling like right now. But I'm just worried about this game being here for the long run. Do I hope the game dies? Obviously not. I'm making this video just as an initial thoughts for the game. When I drop another video about this game, I don't know. It'll probably have to be within a week or so, because I want to have more time to try out the game. But from my first impressions, it's a polished game. This is a very polished, well-made game. The visuals, I've heard mixed opinions about the visuals. I think it looks fine. I think the attack effects look fine. I think the animations look fine. Are they blowing me out the water? Not always, but I can still acknowledge the fact that they look very nice and they're professionally made. I think Anime Vanguards has really just spoiled me as to what unit animations and attacks and all that should look like, but this game is still incredibly well made, and you really shouldn't take away from that fact. Is this gonna be the new greatest anime tower defense game of all time? Well, only time will tell. That's the most honest answer that I can give you. Right now, it's definitely the most popular because it has well over 200,000 players concurrently at the time that I'm recording this video, but I expect that number to dwindle very quickly because they're in the honeymoon stage. It's the release hype. So now we just really have to see how the game is going to go in the long run. All in all, the game worries me a little bit. It's still incredibly well made. Some of the monetization practices and game passes irk me a little bit, put a bad taste in my mouth. They're a little iffy. Do I think that's enough to kill the game? Not really. And I definitely think there's enough of a gameplay loop here and enough content to satiate players for a very, very good amount of time. Hell, we have PvP on release, so we'll see how that goes. Am I looking forward to having to grind out a bunch of things? Probably not. I'm gonna be honest. Probably not. I'm sure you guys are, though. But with all that being said, that's going to be it for me. Let me know in the comments what you think about ASDX. Is it everything that you had hoped for in your dreams, or is it a letdown? For now, that's going to be it from me. I will make another video about this game once I have more time to flesh out my thoughts, but that's it for now. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll catch you in the next one.